Tyler broke his wrist right before the playoffs. He missed the playoffs. It was heartbreaking. Alright, next up from the younger division is the Tigers. We have Terrence Moore. Is Terrence here? There he is. Terrence, stay up here for a minute for the rest of your team and then we'll take a picture with your team. Caleb Phillips. Zaki Brown, I don't think Zaki's here, is he? Rodney Robinson. Jarvis Turner. And last but not least, our lone female on the team, Sierra Walker. Monica, would you mind taking pictures of all the teams? Yellow team, huddle up for me for some pictures real quick.
Alright, ready? Wait. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Next up we have the red team. The red team deserves a lot of credit because from week to week they had various players missing. I think every week they had a couple of players missing, but they came in, they played their hearts out, they borrowed players from other teams when they needed to, and they worked really hard. So the red team, which was the Fire Falcons, first up Isaiah Duar. Joseph Sunsun. Joseph Blanton. Jordan Robinson. And they also have Chosen Brown. She's not here today. We knew she wasn't going to be here, but that was the girl on that team as well. So this is the Fire Falcons. Basically, how the season worked is everybody, you guys can go take a seat. Good job, guys. Well done. We played a long regular season, and the teams played each other twice every week, and then we all went into a playoff. The team that did the best in the regular season got to advance in the championship game, and then the other two teams played up against each other. And I believe it was the red team. Red team won in the semi-finals, and they played the blue team. And so we're going to welcome up our champions, who will receive their shirts, their certificates, and some trophies, and that was the blue team, the Stars. So when these guys come up with a round of applause, Zion Andrews, Zion Andrews, she's not here. Zion's not here. Tadarius Felder. Will Tompkins. Bob Stokes. And Kendall Butler. These guys, I have to admit, were probably the best team from week 1 all the way through. They worked hard every week. They played real well as a team. I know one of the parents came to me just a few minutes ago and was saying how impressed with the blue team they were. They worked hard for each other, they trusted each other, and they get the trophies at the end of the season. Alright, red team, thank you. Sorry, blue team, the Stars, go take a seat. Well done. Alright, now we move on to our older division, which was our 9 through 12-year-olds. Now, anybody that stayed around and watched these games would know how competitive it was. First of all, I meant to mention when we said thank you to coaches, thank you to the parents too. One thing that really impressed me more than anything else was how many of you came out every single week to watch your kids. Your kids are very lucky to have that. I know they appreciate it when they get around. So as a competitive division, there were so many close games. I know in the very last week of the season, all 3 games were decided by only 1 point. So it was a fun season to watch. First of all, we're going to bring up the green team, which was the Heat. Mike Andrews is not there. Alton Moman Jr. Markel Crawford. Hannah Miller. CC Walker. Joseph Arguello. Luke Miller. Latoriante Walker, is he here? No? I'm not sure he really exists. Let's see. So that is our Heat, that's the green team. Round of applause for you guys who are part of the team. Next up, we have the team that was the runners-up in the championship game, and that is the blue team, the Kings. If they want to come up, we have Logan Miller, we have Jacob Miller, Jakara Blanton, Horton, Anthony Sadler. Anthony had the best celebration for a 3-point shot I've ever seen in my life. He was great. That was our blue team, our runners-up, the Kings. And that brings us to our winning team, who got hot at just the right time. And the championship game turned out to be way more exciting than we thought it would be at half time, because this purple team was up by 12 points at the half and only ended up winning by 4. I could see them sweating beads, they were getting nervous at the end of the game. But they held on to win. So we're going to welcome up the Lakers. I don't know about that team. DeAndre Swift. Shady Jr. Cepeda Willis Jr. Demaya Kelly. Jonathan Smith. And Trip Port. That was our older division champions. Well done to those guys. Congratulations. Oh yeah, we forgot to give you a trophy. Before we move on, is there any player here that did not get a certificate and shirt? I think we covered it. That's trophies up. Next up we have some individual awards. The players were working hard every week. They came and practiced every week. They played games on Saturdays. They could earn points and stars. They think that we stopped kind of taking notice of that. We did. We kept track of what was going on. They got stars for offense, defense, good sportsmanship, efforts, all kinds of things. And these trophies go a long way to, the stars went a long way to deciding who won these trophies. We're going to start with the younger division. First of all, we have the most improved player. This is a young man who, he's very quiet. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. But he worked hard all season, and you can kind of see him progress in every area of his game. And by the end of the season, he was a much improved player from what he was at the beginning of the season. And so we want to recognise the most improved player of the younger division is Jordan Robinson. Next up, we have the award for best character. Now that doesn't mean that somebody is joking all the time. This is somebody that would, we kind of felt was polite and listened to the rules and followed instructions. Right at the beginning of the season we were talking about discipline. And we talked about how important it is to stay calm, especially when you get mad and when the referees are making bad decisions, which, you know, we do. And but we learned a lot also about helping your teammates out, helping other people out. We talked about when somebody falls over to help them back up. And of course, when we were talking about it for the first week or so, everybody did it. Everyone was helping each other up and being extra polite. And as the season went along, nobody got like worse or anything, but there was one person that I noticed that even in the very last championship game, somebody fell over from the other team and he stopped, even though he had the ball in his hands, and he helped them up. And this is somebody who, at the beginning of the season, wasn't the best at following instructions and would talk a lot while we were talking. But again, we've seen a great progression with somebody that he really helped him down, he paid attention, he was very respectful to the coaches and the referees and the other players, and that goes to Buzz Smith. Alright, we have two MVP awards, and these are for two players that it wasn't just a case of, yeah, they're great basketball players, they're great shooters or anything else. Again, we kind of looked a little deeper into it, and I've got to make sure I get the right names here. This first young man was on the winning team. I called him the silent shooter because I kid you not, I hardly heard him speak the entire season. He just came in, he played well every time, and then he left. And then this week, he came up to me and we just started having a conversation. And I realised it's the first time I've really had a whole conversation with him. So he probably knows who I'm talking about. And the first MVP award goes to Darius Felder. My second MVP award goes to somebody that me and him did not see eye to eye at all for about the first 4 weeks of the season. He hated me, and I genuinely mean that. He thought I was mean to him all the time. He thought I was giving him a certain set of rules that everybody else didn't. There he is. But again, we saw great progression in him, and by the end of the season, he's following the rules. I think he just grasped the fact that everything we were trying to do, there was a purpose behind it, and he became the most polite young man by the end of the season. And every time I turned around when he was supposed to be sat on the chairs, he was sat on the chairs, which for the first 4 weeks, whenever I turned around, I didn't know where he was, but he wasn't where he was supposed to be. And it was topped off. I was sick a couple of weeks ago, and this young man came up to me, and he just said, "Luke, I just want you to know I hope you feel better." And that kind of, for me, was a final sign of how much he progressed. And so the final award for the MVP goes to Joseph Clanton. I'm going to hand over to Daniel. He's going to give out the trophies for the older division. One more round of applause for our forwards.